400 kilometers above Earth. Survival can be a daily challenge here. But these two extraordinary astronauts, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, are showcasing an indomitable human spirit. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you about if and when you're possibly facing the worst uncertainty of your life, the biggest challenge, maybe you're possibly even facing death, is to remember how these two continued to show extreme courage. Williams and Wilmore reached the International Space Station on the 6th of June. Now, upon reaching space, especially at the International Station, Williams found an immediate moment to celebrate. This was a spontaneous burst of joy, dance, a little bit of a bhangra as it appeared. It was definitely like a good new beginning. This was supposed to be only a 10 days long mission. It has been over 50 days and counting. Now, the official reason is believed to be the helium propulsion issues that is leading to a certain delay. These are technical issues with the Boeing Starliner spacecraft that has delayed their return to Earth. And the team, both on ground and in space, I'm sure, are working consistently on this. But despite these uncertainties, the astronauts remained calm and focused.
I feel confident that if we had to, if there was a problem with the International Space Station, we can get in our spacecraft and we can undock, talk to our team, and figure out the best way to come home. Yeah, like I said, we've practiced a lot, so I have a feeling, I have a real good feeling in my heart that the spacecraft will bring us home, no problem. Which isn't complaining that we're here for a couple weeks.
But then came further delay, and more delay indefinitely. Imagine being stranded in space. Your bodies are taking a toll due to the conditions. And what do? Somersaults and cartwheels. This was as much for their own physical, psychological strength, but isn't this also a message to the team on the ground and possibly to the world that they are all right, and that is a positivity that they are sending across? Then she even decided to feel connected to the ongoings on Earth. So ahead of the Paris Olympics, these were the visuals that displayed their participation also. Sunita Williams was performing a gymnastics routine. This is aboard the space station with other crew members. Flips and spins in zero gravity. It was a tribute to athletes around the world. But it was also to remind us that even in the most challenging conditions, celebrations can and must continue. It's of course also about the importance to remain fit. Remember that they've been in an endless cosmos of pitch black around them, and they do not know when the return will happen. So every day, this is what Williams and Wilmore said. I quote it here. I have a real good feeling in my heart that this spacecraft will bring us home, no problem. Well, you can at least keep a positive mind. Fellow astronaut Butch Wilmore also spoke on similar lines and said, that mantra you've heard, failure is not an option. And that's why we are staying here, because we are going to test it. And that's what we do. Remember, this is the first initiative that they have chosen to be a part of. The experiments, the risks around it were known, but there's a delay that possibly even they did not expect. Now, you may have all the physical training, but how do you keep your mental strength stable in the most difficult times? And this is where one's roots and one's heritage comes to rescue. Sunita Williams has shared her Indian heritage, traditions and knowledge with the world. She's even brought samosas onto the ISS to feel a certain connect with the familiar. And then the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. She's taken all of this to space as well. Because remember, a lot of mentions in the Bhagavad Gita is about dharma, duty, and how to ensure that your mind knows the action and the steps that you need to take. This is also about carrying one's roots into the unknown, that is space. So apart from the fitness regime, what are they really doing aboard the aircraft not knowing when they will return? Critical scientific research. Maintenance tasks are on. This is to ensure the smooth functioning and operations of the ISS. As members of the Expedition 71, the crew aboard the ISS, they are focusing on long-term space travel. They are doing studies on plant growth in microgravity, human body's response to extended space flight. In many ways, the experiments are on themselves too. They also participated in a study using the ultrasound 2 device to perform vein scans to understand how microgravity affects the human body, particularly the circulatory system. So how did they do that? They scanned each other's neck, shoulder, leg veins. They provided valuable data to the doctors on Earth who monitored the procedure in real time. Sunita Williams also explored the potential of manufacturing high-quality optical fibers in microgravity. This environment possibly could lead to innovations not possible or known on Earth right now. And can you grow plants in space? How cool would that be? All of this is being tried, attempted, experimented by Williams. So they're using fluid physics to manage the watering system in the absence of gravity. And if successful, long-duration space missions can be possible, so sustainable food sources could be available to the scientists and astronauts. Butch Wilmore, alongside Matthew Dominic, took on the essential task to arrange inventory of food supplies aboard the station. They need to know how much is left and when. This logistical work ensures that the crew has the necessary resources for and till their extended stay. This strong mental strength, by the way, is not new to Sunita Williams. If you remember, in 2012, there was a triathlon that was being held in Malibu in Southern California. And to not feel FOMO, Sunita Williams participated in this triathlon while you are in an international space station. So as we eagerly await for a safe return of Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, here's what I will say in conclusion. One never knows when death will come, and most live their entire life simply in the fear of it. Sunita Williams, this NASA astronaut, Indian origin, is facing the biggest uncertainty of her life, and yet reminds us daily that in fear of that final moment, one cannot disregard the precious moments that you are blessed with right now. Thank you for watching.